You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dini Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what is going on? Welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. I am your host, dini-mussolini, just in case you guys didn't know that. But yeah, so there are over 30,000 of you guys on our phone lines, in our chat rooms, on the browser, Google Hangouts, Skype, all the plugins that will be used for the show. You guys are filling them up, and I'm super excited. So we have a very special guest for tonight's show, so you definitely want to stick around for that. One message to you guys is get started right away. Once you make the decision, once you set a goal for yourself, start acting on it immediately. That is how momentum is created. Don't move to or move on to anything else unless or until you have committed some action to your goal. And then follow through. Keep the momentum going by taking consistent action. Your initial determination will get you started, and your discipline to act consistently will get you all the way there. Don't stop, or it'll take that much more effort to get started again. You're already on the way, so keep going. You've invested your time and effort and your hopes, and the investment will pay off handsomely when you hold it until maturity by taking consistent action. With commitment and perseverance, anything is possible, my friends. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello, and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or the book, or film, or even the business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create these marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. Big ups to my folks who are indigos, crystalline, or the starseeds, for my Vigilantes audience family, for my hooligans, and shout out to my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're in the struggle like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 5 solid years. I appreciate to all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, films, and research in every aspect. And we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists, nominees, to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology revolutionaries, visual artists, from authors to professors, and vampires. Or people who think they're vampires. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out to book your interview or to appear on my other show called Skeptics. Email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com, and that's V as in Victor. We hope to get the stories behind these unique people and give them a chance to tell their truth to us and the universe. That is Vigilantes Radio sole purpose. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Share that number with your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. So feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab them from either Spreaker.com/only one media group, iTunes, Player.fm, YouTube, any app from the Google Play or iTunes store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired.
Well, tonight's interview is the life-unda interview, and again, I'm your host, dini-mussolini. We are the people who have dedicated their weekdays and nights to music, movies, news, business adventures, conspiracy, and just talk in general. From our incredible writing and promotion here on our new Facebook page, which is at Vigilantes Radio, to our interviews and music show, which is what you're listening to now, Vigilantes Radio, or our spiritual and intuitive talk on a show that we have called Skeptics. I think we got a new show. Yeah, we got a new show in development called Hated It. And that's where Mike and I will review movies of all kinds and do like voice-over comedy. So we spent each and every day giving our maximum effort to create a vibrant, exciting indie and professional community for all creative minds that coexist in this beautiful artistic world. Our special guest today is an artist by the name of life-unda. As I mentioned earlier, he's from Indiana. So with that, let's go ahead and welcome him to our show. Life-unda, you're now live in the mix with all of us. How's it going?
Peace. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing, bro?
How y'all doing, son? I'm doing well. How y'all doing?
Doing great. So, man, let's go ahead and dive right in, shall we? Well, first of all... go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout-out to all the supporters and all the sponsors. First of all, shout-out to DJ Rec One from Indianapolis for putting me on with the radio, keeping the experience going. Shout out to all the local DJs for the, for the situation in the city. Shout out to Atlanta, for allowing me to perform. And shout out to the show, man. Shout out to you, my brother. What's up, Mussolini?
Hey, man, I appreciate that. So let's start at the top, man. Life-unda. Where did you get your name from?
Man, I just looked up one day. I was in the projects, man. Just looked up and said, I'm the light. I'm the life of everything that's around me. And the most important thing to do in this world is to basically accept that you're just as equal as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes me underneath so much. When people say they understand things, I literally stand under a lot of principles, and I stand under a lot of wisdom from a lot of people.
Definitely.
So it just taught me how to be a light amongst the community.
I like that. So what's your secret, man? Is it in your production, the songwriting, the assembly, knowing your equipment and how to get the maximum out of it? Let's talk about, you and how you get the most out of your music. Give us your life story as well.
Well, my life is the music, you know what I'm saying? Music restores people's soul. People have multiple lives, man, and some people are lawyers, then they become drunkards and they become crackheads or whatever. But music normally is what restores them, you know what I'm saying? So music has been my life, you know what I'm saying? And I have a type of music I've been projecting called Kingu, you know what I'm saying, which is rooted from all the root words of songs and psalms, and Singu is the original word for that word. So as people sing and they express themselves, I try to give them the root energy, you know what I'm saying? It ain't really a type of music, it's really the root music, but you know what I'm saying, we let the public check it out a little later, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir, definitely. So you're making some fantastic textures and truly wicked sonic adventures. You're making music that can take people somewhere in their minds. What's your recipe?
Man, it's really stress. When you look up the root word of care, I care for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. That's why you see in some of my blogs and my interviews, like when we had certain things with different situation with Ab TV and such, I like to deal with datpiff.com because they let you do your own platform. And it's been there for a minute, but it says 0 views on all of my stuff. So I like that. Like, I like to feel like I'm the underdog at all times. And so that's the recipe.
Definitely. Do you normally write from, like, just pain, stress?
No, I just, whatever I care about, you know what I'm saying? That's the root word of stress, you know what I'm saying? Stress is care. Whatever you care for, that's what you're going to stress for.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just a careful music. I'm very careful in how I approach music. I listen to people, like, my role models are Billy Paul from Philadelphia, R.I.P. to him, late and the great. I deal with people like Charlie Parker, you know what I'm saying? He's a great musician. Yeah.
Okay. So I wrote this particular question with your single in mind. It's a pretty cool song, believe it or not. It's different in what the state of the mainstream music industry is offering right now, and I like that. You're dealing out the sounds of the time. Your track is definitely slapping and wavy, and the melodies, wow. So can you give us some insight into this particular song?
Well, basically, like, this is called Elise. Like, Elise is who comes after Elijah. Mm-hmm. And Elijah is known as, like, when you look at the root word, it's like the presence of truth, you know what I'm saying? And we had enough truth. We had Pac, we had Biggie, you know what I'm saying? We had a lot of death, and we had a life that we can look after, you know what I'm saying? And so from those examples, Elise is who comes after Elijah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just dealing with etymology, you know what I'm saying? Because most of what you call music, like, it's tonation, you know what I'm saying? And my job is to give a certain frequency into the atmosphere.
Right on. Man, what have you accomplished now with the development of your own sound engine compared to when you first started out?
Well, when I first started out, it was like to sell records. So, like, I had things like ringtone. That was back in like 08, 09, early 10s of the 2000s. Like, with ringtones, you know, it kind of died out and faded out after Mike Jones. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I dealt with that era, and so I made enough money in that era as a teenager, fresh out of high school, to, like, encourage myself to live off myself, like, do for self, you know what I'm saying, and then help do for others, and that's where the whole idea of legal paper came from, you know, because legal paper is an economic market model, you know, for perfect competition in the environment where survival is competition, you know what I'm saying?
Right on.
Yeah, so that's the gang I rep. That's the tribe I rep, legal paper, man, and that's pretty much what all of this wraps up to. You know, I noticed a lot of people, like, they wrestle with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. Speaking of legal paper, I think we just had, like, Phenom on last week, who's also from legal paper.
Yeah,
correct?
My man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Phenom, most def. Links, download links, most def, download that. Download. Also, legal paper been around. We got a record we put out called Once Blind. It's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, and I believe it's on Tidal also. You know what I mean? Just check that out, you know what I'm saying?
Right on. And going back to what you said about, you know, when you first came out in high school, like during the ringtone days, there was a certain incident with the mayor where you snatched this mic and, you know, said that true change is going to come from your music, and you saw the city starting to pump your records more. That was pretty bold, man. Like, what was going through your mind at the time?
Well, you know what I'm saying, I was young, you know, I was a wild guy. I was a savage, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And so I felt like if I'm gonna like, pretty much, here's the secret for behind that. I met my father in prison. And one of the things I promised him was that I wouldn't end up in prison like him.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, imagine meeting a guy and you like, who is this? You know what I'm saying? He's in oranges and all that, but he's a big guy like Mike Tyson or something. And you see this mighty guy, you know what I'm saying? He's saying, just make me one promise. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what came with it. You know what I mean? So with the mayor situation, that was me basically saying, well, since you're the mayor, you're the main executive order in the city. There's three things the law. There's executive, there's legislative, and there's judicial. Judicial controls them both. What's legislative is what's written on paper and sent in the mail, you know what I'm saying? And so I noticed that, and I used him like he is. He's a post office worker. And so I asked him to, you know, make sure my music get played, and he made sure.
Right on.
And I eat off of that every 6 months.
Yes, sir. Man, if you could put your music specifically into the hands of another artist, producer, or engineer that's already in the game, who would that be?
Well, I had already did that before. I don't want to shout out too many, but I did trade a beat with J. Cole. It was called School Days. You should look that up. It was produced by Lexon. Lexon Production produced my first like public mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? Inauguration, that's on Dat Piff, and Brown Baby, that's on Dat Piff. And then we got other things like Horse and stuff like. But I got singles all throughout, Walmart, and just promoting myself, self-promotion. One of my role models is Master P. You know what I'm saying?
Right on. What about choosing someone outside of your genre to work with? Someone that's making like entirely different music than you.
I would love to work with John Mayer. And really? Including the Gorillas. Yeah. I actually have I have a couple records I'm trying to send through them, you know what I'm saying? So see, we might have work in the future. Also, Mike Epps is local in our neighborhood, so he has certain artists that he works with, and then different genres. So shout out to Mike Epps.
Nice. Man, how do you plan to continue to challenge yourself as an artist, though?
Basically, just putting it out there. It's a lot of records. Like that one record, at least, you can hear, like, basically where it's like, imagine an 8th grader talking to a lady that don't know he's in love with him. You know what I mean? And it's like 20 years later. That's the type of stress that I think on certain thoughts. Like, it's certain things you shouldn't entertain. But when I entertain possibilities, my mind actually, it builds stress. You know what I'm saying? And so I can write a record from that. And I want to be able to make quality records with different genres on that same stress level.
Where on the internet would you like people to go and find out more about life-unda and hear more of your music?
Well, most definitely subscribe to that Legal Paper SoundCloud, Legal Paper Productions. It's like it's some kind of phony Legal Paper SoundCloud that's out. Just disregard that. It's some of our old music that some clown to put out. But we have different records like on iTunes, like I said, and Tidal. You know what I mean? Just type in Legal Paper Productions when you're looking up life-unda. Also, life-unda itself is an artist.
You need those links, we have them. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, yeah, especially on Google Play. Just type in LIFEUNDA.
Cool deal. Guys, if you need those links, they're in the description of this episode. So all you got to do is click the links. All right, man. How do you go about finding like the balance between the light and the dark in the subjects you sing about? Like, not too serious sometimes, not too humorous.
Well, there's a letter I wrote to like all the high minds of the planet, and it's called Dear Jesus. And it's like 6 to 7 records, and on there, I pretty much give you 3 records that's dark and 3 records that's light, and you can get those via email or just contacting us from our Instagram or something, because we like to do a lot of our subject media through the media, like the Instagram. We might actually have records that only come out on Instagram and through things like Facebook Message, just to show people by being exclusively linked to us, you get exclusively rights to things.
So it seems like you found a solid balance between saying what you need to say without making anything that should be taken, as a joke. So finding that balance can't always be easy, I'm sure, and it's obviously different songs need different energy. But how do the words come to life? What's important to you lyrically?
Well, I study what people listen to, and I also study what people are not listening to, right? And I stay in the imagination, like basically, I always imagine like, what if Biggie and Pac were not dead? You know what I'm saying? What if, you know what I'm saying? What if Mystical never went to jail? What if Papoose was where Drake is? Like, I think of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so when I stay in my own little realm, that's where I build my thoughts from. Like if you take 10 people in the room and ask them honestly who's the top 3 MCs, they're gonna give you what's being linked to them through the radio, you know what I mean, frequency modulation, or AM amplifier modulation. Both of them are modulations, and so my job is to modulate outside of FM and AM. Like I did FM and AM, but I can modulate like we doing now. We online.
What do you feel like are the most important things to include in a song when you're writing? Aside, of course, from like the obvious answer of music and lyrics, of course. I'm talking about like the nitty and gritty. What does a song need to have included for it to make the grade and end up as one of your official releases or on an album?
Well, it's like anticipation. Like when I anticipate a record being recorded, I have like high anxiety. Like, and so I'm excited. And so I study people like James Brown, how he most of his records were done on the fly. You know what I'm saying? But they were done correct. And so I try to study that and adapt to that and bring that now. Like I'll hear a record one time. If I'm inspired by it, I'll come up with the record before I hear the beat again. And then like by me having a message myself, like we always been bottled up. Since we were children, we've been told to shut up. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of things I want to say.
Man, you're right about that. Man, I like to invite you to say anything that you like to in the final moment here. Anything that you want us to talk about that I didn't get to or bring up. You know, if you want to rant, rave, or praise, here's that moment, man. I wish you the best.
Well, is it me or do America be lying?
You said, does America be lying?
America, you know. They say we the land of the free. Ain't nothing free here but taxes. Ain't nothing free here but prison. You know what I'm saying? And prison ain't even free because you got to pay for any crime that you commit. You know, that ain't even free. And so, as an event, I'm going to say, I'm going to start doing things the American way. You know what's the American way?
What's the American way?
Just start claiming shit. Walk in the store and discover some shit. Like Christopher Columbus. I'm going to just walk in the store and discover some shit. And then discover my black ass up out of that moment. So, you know, that's the type of subject when you want to vent with Brother Life, who is also life-unda, and El Naki on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Music is a way to restore the soul. So I'm using it as a tool. I'm like a, how can I put this? I'm going to throw down this staff, and it's going to turn into a serpent, right? And that serpent got to conquer the rest of the industry. And that's enough said on that.
All right. Man, I like to invite you to one of our other shows we got called Skeptics. It's a little more unorthodox. There's no script, and the topics go from A to Z, man. I think you'd be perfect for that.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's hey. But part of my event, I got a question. How did you come about the name Mussolini?
Well, that's a funny story. Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. I happen to work close with him on business and music, and one of the things he has is a crew called the Regime. It's a bunch of black Italian people. So we have the underboss, we have capos, you know, kind of the structure of a mob family. And then we came up with the idea about, you know, being bosses, tyrants, dictators. And he was like, I'm gonna give you your own branch. You know what you gonna do with it? And I was like, Mussolini. You know, I'm a Mussolini. And he was like, there you go. That's who you are. So originally my name is Houdini Black. Of course, you know, dealing back with commit and things of, you know, blackness and all that. So I just shortened it for the radio, dini-mussolini.
Well, Rahubad, man, that's good, man. As a Tamaran myself, I make sure that my music carries that tone. You know what I'm saying? And see, secrets are secretions, and what people hold in themselves are their secrets, and that's why everything is supposed to be sacred. It's supposed to be secretion based. You know what I'm saying? And we make everything public, and that's where we're messed up at. The media is not public. I want y'all to quote this. The media is not public. It's two different things. People that pay for media are private investors. I'm a private soldier, and I've invested in this private meeting. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we made it public. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how you gotta look at this thing. Like, it's the military. And when you say Mussolini, and you got your own branch, that branch links to the word seed, and that seed links to the word trees. And so, life-unda is also rooted in the word tree of life. You know, and people get hung up on branches. You know, a branch, a break.
Oh, yeah.
Something will fall off a branch. So the root, Kingu, single. King Who is how it's actually pronounced. That's my own type of music. I don't want to say type. I want to say root. Let's get to the root. And so, you know what I'm saying? So this is the root of music. You're going to hear every version of vibration from this music.
King Hugh is your brand, right?
King Who, yes, sir.
King Who. All right. How did that come about?
It came about just from basically, I used to have a lot of drum sets, and my aunties, my uncles, they would sell them when I wasn't around. Like when I go out of town, I got a lot of my influence from the South, so I would go out of town every summer, and like Tennessee and Mississippi, things like that. I was in a hole in the wall when I was 11. It's a place called the Hole in the Wall. You know what I'm saying? And so we would groove. I found out grooving as a university at a young age, like just from people. And so as a king amongst humanity, you know what I'm saying? That's and that's how we are right now. But when you look at the word sing, it goes back to the root word single. The single is rooted in kingu. Yeah, so just check that out. It's pre-Proto-Germanic, but they try to claim it's Proto-Germanic. And then Germanic. The word germ just means bacteria. Sunlight is bacteria. And I quote, there's no such thing as sun rays. Brother Life taught you this.
Definitely. All right, guys, after the music break, it'll be time for our usual tradition. It is called the hot seat, and our fans love this part of the segment, of course, along with the actual interview. But the audience get to hear some vocals. Maybe life-unda can sing for us, do poetry, inspirational speech, freestyle rap, joke stories, maybe even whip out a live instrument. You never know if these creative minds and vessels produce in the spotlight. And today we'll find out if life-unda has what it takes to be put on the spot, a test of his true artistry, and maybe even some hidden talents. But for right now, we're going to play his hit single. Man, life-unda, go ahead and introduce your song, man, before we play it.
This is Elise featuring The Heart, brought to you by Legal Paper Productions. Peace.
Baby, that's what I love you. Maybe that's what my baby. Baby, that's what my baby. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You don't know, you don't understand, you don't understand. All my life, I want to be your man. All my life, I wanna hold your hand. Call me girl, and stop wondering, and make you my baby. My baby. Oh yeah, oh yeah. My baby. Oh yeah, oh yeah. My baby. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You don't know, you don't understand why I want you. You don't understand. It ain't what you've done. You know it's what you don't do. You don't understand. Call me girl. You then let me squeeze you. You don't understand. All my life, you don't understand. I want to please you, and make you my baby. Baby, that's why and make you go crazy. Oh yeah, that's why and make you act shady. Baby, shady, 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 shady. When you fall away, baby. That's why because you're my baby. That's why. Oh yeah. Because you're my baby. Oh yeah. That's why. 'cause you're my baby. Oh yeah, that's why. Oh yeah, my baby. Baby, 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 my baby. I love, I love, I love, I love, I love. That's what I love, I love, I love, I love. Baby, that's what I love, I love, I love, I love. Baby, that's why I love. Baby, that's why your love, your love, your love. Your love, that's why I love, baby, that's why I love, I love, I love, baby, love, baby, love, baby, love. Baby, love, baby, that's why I love you. Baby, love, that's why I love you.
All right, and we are back. You are rocking out to the sounds of life-unda. Make sure you connect with him on all social media. We have the links in the description of this episode, so all you have to do is click those links. As I said before, there is a Bible verse, I think it's Matthew 7:7. It says, "Ask and it shall be given to you, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened to you." Look around you. What do you see? Is that reality? Is it? What is reality, you ask, anyway? Is it limited to just what you can see, what you can touch, what you can hear? Definitely it is not. You see all of the things you look for. You hear all of the things that you listen to. Reality is much, much more. True reality consists of all possibilities. Reality is everything that is and everything that could possibly be. What you see is just what you notice, the things you tune into. Reality is everything. It has no physical limit, no intellectual or spiritual limit. It is anything you decided it can be. Yet we get stuck in thinking that there's only one reality that can be. And that is what holds us back. It puts us in a trance where the only things possible are the things that already are. And it drastically limits our options. The universe is overflowing with abundance if we only look for it. At any moment in time, an infinite number of possibilities are open to you. And then the next moment, another infinite number of possibilities are there. You sail each day on a sea of possibilities. You can change direction at any moment you choose and go wherever you want. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond. But for right now, let's bring back the man of the moment, life-unda. You're back live with us, and now you're in our hot seat. So what you gonna perform for us?
Oh man, they got the hot seat. I tell you what, I got one for you. It's called Lovers, Brothers and Sisters.
All right.
All right, let me see. How are y'all fixing to live it and I'm the king? I'm feeling like a bucket of ice polished and green. My fingers need a government license for the cream. I'm Tyson in the ring, fighting for the dream. I was there when the wind blew the soul of a Baptist preacher who bled in the cold. On the balcony, he was marching for the gold. Hot streets of coal without the Holy Ghost. I spit the sinner's prayers backwards, stuttering word prayers. Where subjects go wherever a verb takes us. Vertical verb phraser. Predicate, predators, commas, quotation. I'm the best in the nation. Punctuation. It's explanatory. Let me explain the story. Deputy shooting glory. My jurisdiction, whack rappers that bore me. Like you two. I'm a gangster, you two? Nah, wankster, your hood's on YouTube. Lovers, brothers, and sisters, quit pointing fingers. My chain flood is still waiting on femurs to feed us. Cause I'm a eater, charging whackers, pay your fees up by females like a diva. Double Dutch grams, I learned that from Visa. To never trust friends, I learned that from Caesar. The government plans to upgrade our teachers. Nah, we just need to upgrade our leaders. America, the home of the illest. Old contractors with a pet named niggas. Butlers named Mexicans. And cooks named Indians preparing the feast for the guests in his temples. We call it Thanksgiving, but funny how we never together say thanks to the giver. It's money, sponsoring the foundations built by these precious hands of killers. It's just a small piece, man.
Wow. Hey, that was dope. That was dope.
America be lying, man. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, but you dope, though.
You
dope, though. Definitely.
Hey, and I do a little comedy, man. I got a little comedy skit on El Naki YouTube. It's called Brother Life Speaks. Adam was black, niggas is crazy. Check it out. It's like 14 minutes. It's a nice little stand-up I did. Also have a stand-up mini clip called Sleepy Harlem. You know, RP to my brother Steve who helped me do it from BHP Productions. He had threw a couple shows locally in Indiana for like a couple people that's now like in Tyler Perry circle. So, you know, we had to give shout out to my brother Steve McCleve, RIP to my brother. Before he died, he put a lot of people on in Hollywood.
Definitely. All right. Hey, what's that clip called again?
Yeah, Sleepy Harlem. It's on YouTube. It's under El Naki YouTube page, I believe. But Sleepy Harlem, and then you have Brother Life, Adam was black, niggas is crazy.
All right, I'm gonna check that out after the show, man.
Yeah, and I can text you the link whenever, man. Just hit me up.
All right, cool deal. Hey, man, we definitely appreciate your time and your dope music, man. We'd love to have you back.
Most def. I appreciate y'all, man. Most def. Appreciate the listeners tuning in. Most def.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Full house. Full house.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay, but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the #1 rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.